I'm here today with Tag Romney, the oldest son of Governor Mitt Romney, who's an announced candidate for president. Thank you for being here today, Tag.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to get your thoughts, first of all, on what it's like to be a family member of a person running for such a big office. And my first question I wanted to ask you, what was your first reaction when your dad came in and said, I want to run for president of the United States?
That's not how it happened, actually. After he won the governor's race, which was strange in itself to have a dad who's governor of a state. It was fun, it was exciting, and I got to work on his campaign. But it became clear that there was some speculation in party circles that he might have an opportunity to run for president if he chose to do that. And he'd been keeping his options open. And at Christmas time this past year, he came to us and said, I'm undecided about what I should do. What do you think I should do? And the whole family, 5 sons and 5 daughters-in-law, and my mom all got together. We had a family council to talk about whether he should run or not. And it was unanimous. We all thought that it was the right thing for him to do. And so we were encouraging him to run more than he was telling us I've decided to run. But it was clear to me he's been given a lot in his life, and it was time for him to give something back. And the challenges America's facing right now are critical, and I want someone like him leading our nation, even if it means a little bit less time with his grandkids and a little bit less time with his sons and things. But it's important for our future that he win this thing. So we encouraged him to run. We're excited that he's doing it. But it's your question. It's a strange feeling to have a dad who's running for president of the United States. It's dad, but I've always known he's an extraordinary guy. He's always been able to just do extraordinary things.
All right. Now, before your dad threw his proverbial hat in the ring, you were vice president of marketing for the LA Dodgers.
That's right.
What made you decide to kind of leave that job behind and take an active role on in the campaign? It was a tough decision, and I actually had another offer at a large company out in California that I was contemplating going to as well, or coming back to Boston and working with my dad. And at first the decision was difficult because I had a family. We were established in Los Angeles. We had kids were in schools there. But then the more we thought about it, it's like, are you kidding me? My dad's running for president. So we moved. We sold our house. We put the kids in the moving. We helped the kids help us move all the boxes, and we flew back across the country and came back. But it was the decision in retrospect was an easy one because there's nothing. I've never done anything more important in my life than what I'm doing right now and helping him. But it was a hard one to make. Vin Scully, who was one of the greatest all-time baseball announcers, if not the greatest, he told me a line. He said, "Tag, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plans." and that's, I think, my plan was to be in Los Angeles and stay there, but that wasn't what was the actual long-term plan for me. So, well, now you've worked on your father's campaign when he was running for governor, and now you're working on his campaign as he runs for president. What kind of differences are there on those two campaigns and the level of intensity that you have to put in them?
The media scrutiny is not as bad nationally as it is in the Boston Globe. And I say that only half jokingly. I mean, the Boston Globe was so... I'd love to have someone go back and do an analysis on positive stories written about the Democrat versus negative stories written about the Republican. It seems to be not very balanced. And I think we're getting a lot more balanced coverage nationally than we did locally. I think they're still continuing to hit us at every chance that they can, even on this thing. But it is a different scale, though. I mean, the governor's race, I was at the ground floor on that one. There was no one. I was the first person that was there. I had a buddy with me, and we were trying to find office space, and we were trying to get phones hooked up and email systems put in place, and it was a little bit more humble than what you got now. I mean, now you've got a lot of really professional people that have done this type of thing before that really know what they're doing, not just locally but nationally. And then you've got lots of local campaigns, South Carolina, Iowa, New Hampshire, of people, really, really great people. And the people in the governor's race were fantastic as well. But there's a lot of people who had never been in a political campaign before trying to figure out what to do.
Now,
one of the things I think people would be curious to know and have insight on is what was Mitt Romney like as a dad? How was it growing up with him, and what kind of parenting techniques did he use?
He was an awesome dad, and he was so busy with work and church responsibilities and things, but it never seemed like he was to us. I mean, everyone's like, oh, how did he ever have time for you growing up? He seemed like he always had all the time in the world for us. And when he came home from work, he was done with work. He would, fortunately, it was the days before BlackBerry, but he when he got home, he would just focus on us and talk to us about our day and play catch with us. And he was just, he was a dad. He was, I think, a typical American father. Now, we recognized there were some, like I said before, he were extraordinary. There were some things about him that were extraordinary. I mean, he really knew how to get the job done. He never liked to sit still. So on Saturdays, we were always working. We were doing chores. We were out helping people. We were out weeding the garden. We were, whatever it was, we were busy doing something. And my dad he was never kind of the type of guy to sit down and watch TV and just kind of chill out. He was always trying to, try to push us along to do the same thing. As teenagers, we resisted a little bit, but and we were always having fun together as a family. That was the other thing. He really values having fun as a family. So we would go out fishing together. He used to take me and go out in the ocean, and we'd go fishing, or we do. There's all sorts of activities that we do together as a family to bond together as a family.
Wow, that sounds very interesting there. Last question I'm going to ask, a little bit on the lighter side. We're going in. I know you're a baseball person. We're going into spring training right now. What's your prediction for this year? Who's going to end up in the World Series? Who's going to get it all?
Boy, I don't know. I don't want to offend any any fans of any of the other teams. My heart hopes that the Red Sox can do it. I don't know that they, a lot for them will depend upon how Daisuke does and a couple of the pitchers they've got on the staff right now. The Dodgers have got a pretty good team, I have to say. They brought in Jason Schmidt and a couple other really fantastic players, so I think they've got a decent crack. The Yankees are always right in there. They've got the most expensive payroll in baseball, and they will continue to outspend everybody by a wide margin.
Yeah, it would be hard to see them not doing that great.
Yeah, the Yankees would be playing there at the end, so it's hard to know, but I'm going to go out on a limb and hope that my Red Sox are there when the whole thing's done.
All right, Tag. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.